I don't like boots. I don't like wool socks. And I don't like coats. I also don't like cold weather. And I don't like a lot of things. But I like swimming in the ocean with my honey, Barbara. This is a good time. Yeah, this is a good time.
The waves.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is George Schlacek and this is my channel. Alright, you might be surprised. I'm sitting here with kind of dirty clothes on and an old pickup truck. Well, from the last video that I showed you, you should know what's going on. I bought this thing. It's been today is exactly 2 weeks that we've come back from Puerto Vallarta. Actually, 2 weeks ago today, at around this time, we were probably just about boarding the airplane or something like that. Anyways, things have changed for me in that time, but there are so many good things about Puerto Vallarta that I haven't had a chance to show you yet. And so don't worry about me sitting in a dirty pickup truck with dirty clothes on in cold weather in Edmonton, Alberta, where it's tolerable. It's not that bad, but today I'm going to show you more about Puerto Vallarta, and in particular, it's about Playa Mismaloya. Let's get into it.
There I go. I just like freaky.
Playa Mismaloya is about 20 kilometers south of Puerto Vallarta along the Mexico number 200 highway. The easiest way to get there is by bus from the terminal at the intersection of Calle Constitucion and Badillo. There's an Ocho store at that corner and people are always lining up for the bus. You can't miss it. The beach is great for swimming, which might have something to do with its location in a cove. The water isn't quite as choppy as in Puerto Vallarta. This is actually the only beach where Barbara really enjoyed swimming. Playa Mismaloya is also one of the best places to watch the pelicans. So if you love these marine birds, Playa Mismaloya is the place to go. These birds are used to people and they just keep hanging around even if you get very close to them. Another great thing is this walkway on the south side of the beach. From here, you can get a fantastic view of the shoreline and the islands called Los Arcos. We came to Playa Mismaloya several times and it became one of our favorite places in the area. And knowing that there was a kayak rental on site, we made plans to rent a kayak and then head out to these islands. But as we later found out, this wasn't possible. Tough life, no?
Yeah, he's just desanding myself from the excursion with the wave.
Yeah.
Remember that one that folded us in half as it rolled? And then I just realized, I was wondering what was dropping from my outfit. Me and my grooming session.
Yes. In 1964, the movie The Night of the Iguana was filmed here. Have you seen it? Leave me a comment. we're just coming back from another visit at beautiful Playa Mismaloya. There's some doggy barking at me. So we can walk across the beach, but there's a river you have to wade through, so we opted for taking the little bridge here. So when we asked about why we couldn't go with the rental kayak to see those islands, we were told that they were a protected area and that we were only allowed to go there with the guide. That kind of disappointed us quite a bit. But there was another possibility. You can take a boat from Playa Mismaloya and the prices vary. The first ones we talked to, they wanted to charge us 400 pesos each for an hour to an hour and a half excursion. But then we were hanging out there for a bit longer and we talked to some other people. And then eventually we ended up in a boat only paying 300 pesos per person. We shared the boat with one other couple. Can you see the iguana statue on the shore?
The statue? You don't know that?
Oh, for the movie.
For the movie, right?
Los Arcos are a group of beautiful granite islands and islets that protrude from the sea surface here. The arches and islets did not exist in their current form several thousand years ago when they were hills along the shore. With the passage of time, the ocean waves eroded most of them except for the solid granite cores, creating islands as we see them today, while also separating them from the mainland. If you look carefully, you can see that those seagulls right here have blue feet. Can you see it? Due to its shape, this island right there is called Turtle Island, La Isla de Tortuga. In 1975, Los Arcos were declared a refuge for the protection of marine life by the authorities. Since 1984, they've been classified as a Mexican National Marine Park. Now, it's illegal to hunt and fish in Los Arcos area, which has led to rich marine life despite the abuse and overfishing in the 20th century. Well, it's one thing to buzz around these islands in a boat, but the highlight of our tour was still to come. Well, besides seeing all these colorful fish, we also spotted a giant sea turtle, but it was camera shy, so I can't show it to you.
¿Verdad que no se hunde con el chaleco? ¿Quieres nadar? No.
Did you hear that? ¿Quieres nadar? He said. Do you want to go swimming? Hell yeah! Well, swimming around with the mandatory life jacket was a bit awkward. And the fish, for some reason, knew how to stay away from me. Yeah, I look like that. Maybe I scared them. I actually found it easier to maneuver without the snorkel. Just hold your breath. I finally found a large group of fish right underneath the boat. I think they like eating the algae off the boat. Can you tell we're having a really good time here? And there you go. That's my new hairdo. It only happens when I let it grow a little bit. Looking at this shoreline makes you wonder what it will look like several thousand years from now. Playa Mismaloya is definitely one of my favorite places that I seen on our recent trip to Mexico. Barbara and I today we went to Playa Mismaloya, and we first came here with the intention to rent some kayaks, and we were going to go to Los Arcos, those islands. They're called the Arches because they all have arches and caves in them. Now the thing is, the guy who rents the kayaks, he would have charged us 500 pesos and it would have been all good, but just before we were going to take off, he explained to us that the only thing we're not allowed to do was to go to these arches, because he said, well, they're protected area and you have to go with a guide and stuff. So we said, well, thank you very much then, but that's not what we had on our mind, so we're just going to skip this. Then later on after lunch, we found out that you could take a boat there for, well, at first it was 400 pesos a person. So then as we're eating lunch, a guy passes by and he says, would you like to go on a boat ride to those arches or go fishing or something like that? And I told him, well, yeah, we would like to go to these arches. And he wanted to know whether we'd go with a group or just by ourselves. And I said, well, with the group would be good. And he said, well, that's 300 pesos a person. So that sounded very good to me. And so I told him, yes, we're in. And then, well, after we were done eating, we just went. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, that's your opportunity right now. It doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you very much.